The Naruto fanbase has always believed that Orochimaru stole this shinobi's entire wardrobe after killing her in the Forest of Death. But what if I told you it's actually the opposite? 5 years before the start of Naruto Part 1, Orochimaru secretly lived within the hidden grass village. Disguised and calculating, he used false identities to negotiate peace with nearby nations and build political influence. The grass village was small, fragile, and surrounded by stronger nations. Orochimaru promised prosperity, funding new research, improving infrastructure, and stabilizing the economy. But he didn't do this out of kindness. In exchange, the village's leaders gave him unrestricted access to their territory for his experiments. Hidden beneath the forests and hills, countless laboratories were built in secret. To the villagers, Orochimaru was a savior, but to those who saw behind the curtain, he was a devil hiding in plain sight. Among his allies was Shiore, a skilled kunoichi and intelligence scout from the hidden grass village. She wasn't born into nobility, but she had deep connections to the Hayakusa clan, the same family that once wielded the sword of Kusanagi. At first, Shiore saw Orochimaru as a genius, someone who could elevate her people and bring lasting peace. But over time, her admiration became something deeper and darker. She began modeling her appearance after him, the pale tunic, the dark sleeves, even the purple rope around her waist. To Shiore, this wasn't mimicry, it was devotion. She believed that by embodying him, she was proving her loyalty and understanding his power. But everything changed when Orochimaru took her close friend, Kanae Hayakusa, as his next vessel. Shiore's faith shattered. For the first time, she saw what kind of monster she had been serving. From that moment on, Shiore no longer followed him out of fascination, but out of fear. She had seen too much, knew too many of his secrets, and there was no turning back. Every command she obeyed came from desperation, not devotion. She was trapped in the same web she once admired, bound to Orochimaru like a shadow that couldn't escape the light. At night, guilt gnawed at her. Regret for the lives ruined by his experiments, and shame for her own weakness. Yet she stayed, because in her heart, Shiore knew. To leave him was to die. About 2.5 years later, Orochimaru ordered Shiore and her team to infiltrate the Hidden Leaf Village. Their mission was to gather intelligence on Konoha's new generation of shinobi. But what she didn't know was that it was a trap. At the village gates, Kabuto and the Sound Five ambushed them in a single coordinated strike. There was no fight, no warning, only silence. It was one of Kimimara's last missions before his body began to fail. The operation was never about information. It was an execution. When it was over, Orochimaru appeared, not as her master, but as her killer. He looked down at what remained of his once loyal spy, and without hesitation, he took what he desired most. He took her face and used it to walk freely into the Hidden Leaf Village to test the abilities of Sasuke Uchiha. The world would remember that face. The pale robe, the dark sleeves, the serpent's eyes. But few would ever learn about Shiore, the woman who once followed him in blind devotion. She mirrored his image out of fascination until it became the mask that ended her life. In the end, Orochimaru didn't steal her look. He wore it first, and she followed him into oblivion.